Hello and welcome to another episode of the Farr Show where I'm Damien Farr, and tonight we're talking about Five Nights at Freddy's, which I want to point out have not played the games, so I don't know any of the lore, so I'm going in pretty blind here. But the movie was honestly, it's just kind of there. Is the best way to describe it. So, before we get too far into it, it is November. Well, technically not yet for me, but you know, I'm filming this in advance, so it is November, so we got to take off those pants. So, I give this movie an FA. It's directed by Emmy Tammy, I think it's pronounced. Emma Tammy. Then we got a screenplay by Scott Carthall, Seth Cuttleback, and Emmy Tammy. And story by Scott Carthall, Chris Lee Hill, and then Tyler McLaren, based on Five Nights at Freddy's by Scott Carthall. So he had his hand in a lot of this, and I heard that he was kind of bad to work with. I don't know if that's true, and I don't want to throw anybody in the bus. That's what I heard. That's what I read actually online, because I don't have inside connection. But the cast here, we got Josh Hartson as Mike Schmidt. You got Piper Rubio as Abby, Elizabeth Lay as Vanessa Shelley, Matthew Lillard as Stephen Raglan - William Fault. I feel like that's a spoiler, but you know, whatever. We'll get to that in a second. I don't really care about spoiling this movie. And then we got Marissa Stewart Matherson as Aunt Jane. So the plot of this movie is Mike starts a security job working at Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, which, you know, cool. But the animatronics come to life at night and try to kill him and anybody that's there, I guess, because they're done by they got ghost children in them. They got children in them. Their corpses are in them, but their ghosts are tied to them too. So the ghosts take them over, and I'm like, seems kind of odd. I wonder what the actual reasoning is behind this, and they never really explain it. I assume they do in the games, how, you know, their ghosts stayed with them, because the guy who's not really a firm believer in ghosts, it's just kind of weird that a ghost would suddenly, you know, get stuck to that, but seems like a weird thing. Pretty much Mike has PTSD because his brother got taken on his watch. Technically speaking, it's not exactly his fault, but his brother did get taken on his watch, so he's got some PTSD, and Abby is a little sister. He tries to keep her safe no matter what. His parents died, it seemed. His mother died. I know he didn't really say anything about his father, and honestly, when they did the little flashback dream, his father didn't even talk to him, so I have the sneaking suspicion his father is just gone. His father is gone. The mother, he liked his mom, and he liked his brother, but I take it he didn't like the father. That's all I can think of, really. So, he starts working this job because after he beats the shit out of a guy, for lack of a better term, he beats the shit out of him in front of his son, he then gets this job, and Matthew Lillard is the main bad guy, and the way he laughed right after he said, yeah, the job's still available, it was hilarious, because I leaned over to my buddy who also hasn't seen Five Nights at Freddy's or played the games or know the lore, and we're next to each other, and the guy who knows the lore is like further over, and I said to him, 100%, he's the bad guy. He's the owner of the thing and the guy who took his brother. He's like, you're probably right. And I'm like, yeah, it's unfortunate when I'm right. So later you figure out that he took his brother, and he also was the one who trapped the kids and put them in the costumes forever, which was kind of weird, but I guess it worked out in the end. Vanessa Shelley is supposed to be his daughter, which she doesn't have the same last name, so she probably got her mother's last name, but I don't understand how the whole, like, beginning, you know, she's a cop, but I guess she just lets her dad slide that he murdered all these people, is what I gathered, because, you know, there's the problem there that, well, if she's actually a cop, how does that work out? Because if she's actually a cop, she should have, you know, thrown her dad in jail for killing those kids and the people that came to Freddy's later on. Like, I'm kind of confused by that part. Like, So is she actually a cop, or is she just pretending to be a cop? I'm so confused on that part. Is she really a cop? That's all I need to know. Is she really a cop? Because if she is, she's a terrible cop. The fact that she's there all the time, I don't think she's actually a cop. I'm gonna be honest. I think she's got a police car that they don't use anymore, but I don't know why they didn't take the lights off it, but she never used the lights either, so it's kind of like a, who knows? She could have been lying the whole time, but I don't know. I'm more interested about her than Mike. Mike was boring. Every character was terrible except her. I'm like, is she actually a cop? That's all I need to know. Is she actually a cop? Tell me in the comments below if you've seen Five Nights at Freddy's. Is she actually a cop, or is it just a ruse? Tell me in the comments below. Have you seen Five Nights at Freddy's? Tell me what you thought about it in the comments below. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe, hit that bell icon, and have a far off night.